Good morning. I would like to call to order this meeting of the Fremont County Board of Commissioners and invite you all to rise for an invocation by Lauren Coleman of the Evangelical Free Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
All right, let's pray together. Well, Father, as creator and giver of every good thing, we just start off and give you thanks for this beautiful day that you've given us today, for this community that we get to live in, and for these men and women that you have put in place to govern this county. So we give you thanks for all these things. And as people who are desperate for wisdom, and you are the giver of wisdom, it all starts with you. We ask this morning for wisdom for these men and women as they make decisions regarding this county and what is good for the citizens here. So we ask that happens today. And we give you all praise, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren.
Let's do roll call.
Commissioner Bell.
Present.
Commissioner Grantham. Here. Commissioner McFall.
Present.
County Attorney Jackson.
Present.
County Manager Bryant.
Present.
Planning Coordinator Adamic.
Here. Thank you, Justin. We turn next to the approval of today's agenda. Quick question to my fellow commissioners. Have you both had the opportunity to review the minutes from July 12th, or do we need to pull those off until the next agenda?
Yes.
I got to look at them. I think we're fine.
I think we're fine as well.
Okay. All right. I am ready for a motion to approve
With that,
today's
Madam
agenda.
Chair, I move to approve the agenda.
And I will second that.
It has been moved and seconded to approve today's agenda. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is today's consent agenda. I would like to let you know we are scheduling one public hearing out into the future. Tuesday, August 23rd, beginning at 10 a.m., we have a request for the approval of a new marijuana grow facility, Tier 1, which would allow for a maximum cultivation of 500 plants. This is OPC 22-001, Morning Sweets LLC, located at 1496 C Street and 365 15th Streets in Penrose. So if you have input you would like to bring forth, please attend that meeting or send us an email or an old-fashioned letter before that date.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve today's consent agenda. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Up next is informational and administrative topics. We begin this morning with staff and elected officials, and our first report is coming from our county clerk, Justin Grantham, with his monthly report for June. Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Today, the total motor vehicle fees, sales tax, and recording fees collected for June of this year are $1,256,239.10. Of that, Fremont County's portion for disbursement is $736,475.45, which is 59% of the total fees and is $122,460.44 less than last June. Year to date, our office is down $296,078.01.
So we just keep going the wrong direction.
Well, it's catching up, actually.
Between that and inflation is showing.
Yeah, inflation's starting to show, and
Absolutely.
supply chain and culmination of things.
Yeah, even locally, the car dealerships do not have the amount of cars they normally have.
No, it's hard to purchase a new vehicle when there are none available.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I move to accept the county clerk's monthly report.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the county clerk's monthly report for the month of June 2022. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Justin. We have next with us our county treasurer and public trustee, Kathy Elliott. Good morning, Kathy.
Morning.
Good morning. So for public trustee, Releases of deeds of trust were 587 for the second quarter. First quarter, we were down 190 releases in that quarter. Talking to some of the title companies, obviously the interest rate, people aren't refinancing right now, so their work is dramatically slowing down, which I don't know if that's good or bad. Foreclosures are up. First quarter, we had 12, and then we started 18 in the second quarter. And so far, I think it's the third quarter starting off pretty slow, so.
I think it's probably going to remain slow. They're talking about raising interest rates again, and that's why we're not seeing refinancing, so.
Yep.
And unfortunately, I think your foreclosures will go up eventually when that hits bottom, so.
Yep,
Can
it's
hope
a
that
trickle-down
doesn't-
effect
yeah.
on.
Well, we certainly have had a reprieve in those foreclosures with COVID over the last couple of years.
Yes.
But I do still recall those days before when we had 100 or more.
Yes,
Those were rough times.
yes.
Okay, kind of a motion for approval, please? Or acceptance?
I would move that we accept the report of the public trustee.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve the Public Trustees Quarterly Report for the second quarter of 2022. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And now you have a semi-annual report for us as well.
Yes, so we are somewhat ahead of last year. Collections, however, we're down a little bit. Last year, at the end of June, we were at 91.5% collected, and as of June 30th, we were at 90.9%. A lot of people are having a hard time coming up with tax dollars this year. So we're trying to work with people as much as we can to get them paid, but
All right, questions for Kathy?
Dang it.
I know.
yeah. Yeah, it's a struggle for a lot of people out there.
It is.
It just scares me that this is the start of something, so.
Yeah.
All right, your wishes, gentlemen?
I move that we accept the semi-annual report of the county treasurer.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to accept the county treasurer's semi-annual report for the first half of 2022. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.
We turn next to our county manager. She has a report as county manager to be followed up by a sales and use tax report. Good morning, Sunny.
Good morning, thank
Morning.
you. So just a couple of quick updates. We still have several employment opportunities available with the county, so if you know of anybody that's looking for employment, send them on to our county website at www.fremontco.com, and then click on the Employment Opportunities link. We still have the RFP for the Housing Strategies Project out, so those proposals are due back to us on August 1st. So if you know of any companies that can do that type of work, send them to the county website for more information. And then last, we are kicking off the 2023 budget process. So we have the templates that we're finalizing. Those will go out to departments on the 1st of August. They're due back to us in September, and then we start meeting with the commissioners to finalize the 2023 budget. So it's hard to believe that that's the time of year we're in, but here we are.
It does seem like we just did the 2022 budget,
Yes.
so that is a great lot of work. So thanks for always starting early and being prepared for all of our departments and elected officials.
So that's all I
Okay.
have for the manager's report, and we'll move into the sales and use tax. So zoom in just a little bit. Okay, so the retail sales tax collections for May of 2022. So in May, it came in at $820,761. And so May is the largest number that we've seen. I would love to say that this is a great thing for our community, but unfortunately, this a lot has to do with just the rising cost to buy anything right now. And so unfortunately, our citizens are having to pay this. So hopefully things will kind of level out on that. So that number is up 112,489 from May of last year. Year-to-date, we are up $171,612, and then in comparison to budget, we're up about $274,000. The auto use tax through June, the auto use tax came in at $136,504, which is down $11,616. So our portion of the clerk's fees are down $66,025. However, when we did the budget for 2022, we really realized that those numbers weren't necessarily sustainable, so we budgeted for that. So in comparison to budget, we're up about $131,000. The construction use tax, so in June, it came in at $32,837, which is up $448 from June of last year. And so this amount will allot for because the county is no longer collecting construction use tax. So we are due to receive one more quarterly payment from the city of Florence. And so once we get that, we'll kind of close out this, see what impacts that'll have on budget, and what impacts that'll have, obviously, moving forward on that as well.
I think, Sonny, before you move on, the county's not collecting it because it's being collected at the retailers or where they bought it. So the tax is still being collected, just to get that out there.
Correct, yeah. So about a month ago, the commissioners approved a resolution because we discovered that we were collecting use tax on the construction materials potentially twice, through sales tax on the backside and then through the construction use tax up front on that side. So thank you for clarifying that. So the lodging tax in the month of May came in at $815, so that's not a quarterly distribution period, so we weren't worried about that number. Year-to-date at this point, we're down $10,110, but we will get our next quarterly distribution here over the next couple weeks, so I'll be anxious to see what that number comes in at. And then on the sheriff retail sales tax collections, so in May it came in at $547,174. Year-to-date, we are up $114,409, and in comparison to budget, we're up $162,845. And the sheriff auto use tax came in at $91,003. Year-to-date, we are down $19,620, but in comparison to budget, we're up $112,092. And then last, the construction use tax came in at $20,390. And then, like I said, we'll close that out here over the next month and give final numbers at that point. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Sunny. One of the things we always appreciate about you is the fact that you do tend to start a budget conservatively, and that makes it a lot easier for us because we have those same philosophies. And I just want to note that we look at things very conservatively and tend to go down occasionally when we think things aren't going to be running quite the way that they had, and so it works out in the budget. And I'm just very, very grateful for that. So I just want to say thank you.
I need to pile on that. We, just as a point of comparison with what you see going on at the state level at least, it is immensely refreshing to have some good folks to work with, my two colleagues here and Sunny in her capacity and in doing the budget, where you start from the framework of common sense. And that's a refreshing change from the state budgeting process. I don't think, for the millions of folks that are watching on Facebook and YouTube right now, and for the droves and throngs that are in the chambers right now, it should not go without noticing that, and she just rattles this off nonchalantly when she gives these reports. But the comments during the auto use tax collection about how we saw this coming, it was unsustainable, the increases, and then we're still ahead of where we budgeted, even though we ratcheted down, so to speak, based on what obvious trends would look like. But then common sense, we have someone here that helps the three of us out with the starting off from a conservative standpoint and going, this isn't sustainable. That kind of mentality in the budgeting process, especially looking at where we are with inflation right now and decreased buying power. And we have increasing revenues in some cases because of that inflationary effect. But having someone like Sonny and my colleagues here who have been at the helm for a lot longer than I have here, using common sense, it's a good place to be in for our county. All those things, even if we couldn't predict inflation coming like it is right now, it's the common sense over the course of years that have put us in a position where we can survive some of the potential problems that are coming down the pike for us. And so I commend all of you guys for making us look great. So thank you guys.
Well
All
said.
right, all right, yes, very well said. All right, commissioners, I know we all have some comments we'd like to make this morning, so we'll begin with Commissioner Grantham.
Okay. So a couple months ago, I think we initially put or Sonny had compiled the entire accountability report, and we have the entire PowerPoint. I think it's still available online for the public to go on and look at the entire thing. But 2 weeks ago, Commissioner Bell started with a couple of the departments giving reports that are contained within that accountability report. I think the Veteran Services and Weed Management.
Weed management, yes.
And so I wanted to just kind of talk briefly about a couple more departments, including our airport. I sit on the Airport Advisory Committee as the Commissioner's representative, and we have a wonderful airport here in Fremont County, and we've got a great manager. He was in here 2 weeks ago talking about our consultant firm that we use for planning and development out there at the airport, Armstrong Consulting. And just want to talk about a few of the statistics and a few of the things that were accomplished in 2021 for the airport. We see our statistics constantly going up as far as our usage out at the airport. We see aircraft being fueled, that increasing, as well as self-serve transactions and the pumps out there. Things are going well, and we're seeing an increase in activity. We also see an increase in the overall aircraft that are based out at the airport, a total of 76 aircraft that are based out of there, and honestly, long-term plans for that to even get bigger. With an airport also comes some of those unfortunate things that require emergency responses and accidents. But they're minimal. We did see a couple of critical engine failures out there over the course of 2021. One was successfully returned to the airport, and one of great note was one that landed on Highway 50, but safely. And so credit to not only the pilot, but also our emergency responders and from the airport as well. There was a major skydiving accident, unfortunately. The individual was transported via helicopter from that location. Saw an electrical failure and a radio failure as well, but in both those cases, the aircraft landed safely. Back on September 18th, we saw the fly-in and drive-in, which was an event that hosted a lot of fun aircraft and classic cars, and even more importantly, a pancake breakfast. So another fun event that we see our airport community engaged in, and it was, by all accounts, an overall success. We also saw the airport facilitated a magnetic and radiometric geology survey completed by Sander Geophysics. This is helped increase our fuel sales and our storage fees out at the airport, and that's just another one of those things that the airport is sponsoring and helping out with there to help increase traffic in our airport. We're seeing some airport improvements constantly, including the rehabilitation of our helicopter movement transport trailer. We replaced some runway exit signs, and if you saw the before and after pictures, you'd understand why they needed replaced, and it's important for, obviously, our pilots in identifying the runways, et cetera, the runway exit signs. Also some ongoing asphalt maintenance. So a very good report from Wes, our airport manager, and a lot of good things going on, and hopefully some more great things coming here in 2022. The other department I want to talk about briefly is our building department, and Wyatt Sanders is our building official. A lot of statistics that if you want to go online and look at the PowerPoint of everything that is going on here at the county and the building department, there's a whole lot more statistics on here than I care to regurgitate. So I will just give some of the highlights, including a total of 1,129 building permits were issued in 2021. That's an increase of over 100 from 2020. Now that's a combination of new builds and demolition permits, septic permits, and commercial permits, et cetera. But overall, that's an increase in overall permits from 2020. One of the things that always amazes me about that building or that office is there are 2 inspectors, and they conducted over 2,300 inspections over the course of 365 days. That's a huge number for the 3 of us at least, and I know Dwayne and I, our desks face the window, and you get here early enough in the morning, you see the building inspectors leave, and then before we leave, they're coming back in the door from doing those inspections. They are busy, busy people, and last year they traveled 35,000 miles across this county doing their inspections. So they do a great job trying to keep up with the demand of all the inspections that are being done. There are also over 600 residential and commercial plan reviews completed. Now that's a big job. If you've seen the plans that come in and them having to go through those, it's some real yeoman's work for them to be able to accomplish what they accomplish in that office. And that's about it, Madam Chair. There are a whole lot more details on both of those departments online, and I would encourage everyone to go on and look at those and learn more about everything that was done in the county in 2021.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner McFall.
I've got some fun and exciting news.
All right, let's do it.
First, I'm going to start with, we are still in stage 1 fire restrictions. We have been getting some much needed moisture, and thank God for that, but some of the fuels are still dry. And once again, it is up to the sheriff, who is the fire marshal of the county. He's got the ability to move up and down within the fire stages. If he wants to lift it completely, then we approve that. But at this point, we are still under stage 1 fire restrictions, so be very careful if you're out there enjoying. Now for the fun and exciting stuff.
All right.
The Fremont County Fair is in full swing. It started last Friday with rodeos, Friday and Saturday. They've had open entries and 4-H entries come in through the weekend, and they've started judging those today. So Commissioner Bell said she was out there dropping off some open entries, and there was a lot of people, so that's exciting to hear that there's that. I hope that, was that my time was up? Is that what that was? that there's a lot of entries in the open. They do start judging today, and this is all out at Pathfinder Park, by the way, in the new event center, and we have tents set up out there where towards the middle of the week, or tomorrow actually, the animals will start coming in. On Wednesday, there is a poultry judging contest. However, with the poultry, with the avian flu being widespread in the United States right now, more commonly known as the bird flu, it was a wise decision by the fair board to not allow chickens and poultry to the fair. However, they are going to try to have, I think, the meat pens actually be judged at the old fairgrounds south of Canyon City. They're going to spread those out where the judge can actually lay hands on those birds and judge them more properly. The other birds are going to be judged via pictures, I believe, or electronically. So we don't want the kids to miss out on their projects because they worked really hard on this, but unfortunately that bird flu has kind of put a kink in that. And the reason, I guess, to go a little more into that is if those birds get together in in a congregate situation and one of them does have the flu and then those kids take those birds home, they could infect their whole flock and kill the whole flock. So trying to avoid that. And then that was on advice of the state vet office also. So they're doing the best they can to prevent any spread of that. There is none in the county, thank goodness, but you never know. It's transmitted by migratory birds. So then they also have a goat show tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening actually. Colorado Country Music Association will be out there playing music. And then Thursday is the rabbit show. There will be rabbits out there, sheep show, and a swine show. And then Friday is Family Day. Family Day is, I encourage anybody with children or just anybody actually to go out there. They have a complimentary seniors breakfast from 7:30 to 9. This is all on Friday the 29th. And then Family Day is 10 to 3. They have bounce houses. They have the Slide of Circus will be there performing. Manny Colin is going to do some farming presentations, Farmer Manny, kind of farming education for the kids to kind of show them from seed to product. It'll be pretty interesting stuff. So they also have a Pee Wee livestock show. That was the coolest thing to watch last year. These little bitty 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds come out there and try to show either brothers or cousins sheep or something like that. And it's just the neatest thing to watch. It was fun. It kind of gets those kids excited to be getting into 4-H and FFA. Then on the Friday night, there is the beef show. And then Saturday, they will start off with the master showmanship, and then there's a buyer's barbecue, and then the market livestock sale. So all of those kids will have the opportunity to sell their animals. The ones that do make the sale, they don't all make the sale, and see the completion of their project and hopefully make them some money to pay for the bills that they incurred over the year and also get started on their projects for next year. So encourage everybody to get out to Pathfinder Park. There are food trucks out there all week long. Some of them are there separate days, but some of them are there all week long. So if you have time, stop by and have lunch. See the kids, especially starting tomorrow. There's going to be animals, and just see the excitement in those kids and let them show off their animals to you. It's pretty neat to see their accomplishments. So get out to the Pathfinder Park and enjoy the fair.
All right, thank you for that. I would just add that the Fremont County Fair is the culmination of the work of hundreds and hundreds of people, not only 4-H kids, FFA members, all of those who choose to exhibit in the open category, but also our Fremont County Fair Board and CSU Extension Office as well. So it's a lot of work by a lot of people, and we would love to see you all out there. I also have a couple of things. I know our reports are running a little long this morning, but I think we have some good information. Last week, Commissioner McFall and I spent some time up in Adams County, Colorado, near DIA. We went to a National Association of Counties annual conference. We got a ton of really great information. Some of the things that we did, we had general sessions that included speeches by both our own Colorado Senator John Hickenlooper, but also by several members of White House staff. We attended Rural Action Caucus. One of the things we talked about there I thought was really interesting was the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We got a lot of information about that we've never heard. Reports by different folks from the U.S. Rural Development. I attended Ag and Rural Affairs as well. We discussed committee priorities going into the next legislative session. We also had a lot of conversation about the 2023 Farm Bill that will affect everyone in Colorado, as well as the 30 by 30, which is the president's proposal to put 30% of the land mass of the entire United States into some kind of conservancy by the year 2030. And we also talked a lot about waters of the United States and the greatly expanded definition that they're trying to get through. And so a lot of different things. We spent 5 days, including the entire weekend, up there advocating for every single one of you here in Fremont County. So a lot of hard work, but we managed to have a good time up there as well. The other thing I wanted to speak about is Fremont's Exceptional Women is an organization that I've been involved with since inception. We have our 5th event coming up in October, Friday night, October 14th. Nominations for all women here in Fremont County are due, though, coming up. The deadline is going to be Monday, August 15th. There are 5 different categories you can nominate different women in: professional achievement, overcoming adversity, community service, excellence in character, and rising star, which is for women from the age of 16 up through the age of 27. Nomination forms are available online at www.fremontsfew.com, or you can contact me and I'll help you sort it all out. So we would love to see nominations from all of you here in Fremont County for that. Okay, anything else before we move on? I'd say that's enough.
That's enough.
All right. This is the time for citizens who wish to address the commissioners on any item not scheduled on today's agenda are welcome to step up to the microphone. Do we have anyone here this morning? Seeing none, we will move on. We have no old business for consideration. We'll jump into new business. Our first item is to request an approval for a minor subdivision, MS 22-003, from Brady Builders subdivision that will create a total of 3 lots located in the low-density residential zone district on Grandview Avenue here in Canyon City. We have with us this morning Matt Koch. Good morning, Matt.
Morning.
Good morning. We are requesting a 3-lot subdivision. It's the existing 2 parcels. We're actually creating 1 more out of those. It's located on Grandview Avenue, just west of Canyon Creek. We're adding 10 feet to the lot, the smaller lot on the front, and then creating Lot 3, which would be a flag lot coming off of Grandview. All utilities are adjacent on Grandview. Water, sewer, and everything is available right through there. We did request a waiver of the drainage, but the county engineer reviewed that and basically came up and requested us to defer it until the building permit stage. We are okay with that. We'll put a note on the plat that that is required at the time of building permit. Other than that, if you have any questions.
Questions for Matt at this point?
Well, I have one, Madam Chair,
Yes.
and it may come back to Danielle in a second, but on the pictures, it's not showing that flag lot. Can you tell me where that flag lot is, the 3rd lot? That's showing,
That one's showing a little bit more. It would be, so you kind of see that driveway coming into the big lot there in red?
yes.
It would be just to the right of that.
Okay, because, no, there's not another picture in the packet. The only picture we have is just like that. There's 3 of them like that, but, perfect. Yeah, and we,
Ask, can you show receipt?
I didn't see it. Okay, that's exactly what I needed.
Yeah,
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
That's more better.
yeah, it's much more better.
More better.
Much more better.
Yeah,
Tim Payne would be so
perfect,
proud.
perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, anything else for Matt? Okay, we turn next to a staff report from Planning Coordinator Danielle Adamick. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning, how are you?
Great.
Like Matt said, it's an existing 2 lots right now. They're adding 10 foot on lot 1 and making a 3rd flag lot. It's zoned low-density residence, meets all the minimum requirements for that zone district. The engineer who reviewed the drainage, the topographic information is not detailed enough to confirm the lack of drainage. So that's why he's requesting to look at it again when it comes time to develop the lots. The other comment we've received is from the transportation office. They do require driveway access permits during development when they come to apply for that. Planning Commission, their conditions that they recommend is the updated title commitment will be required. That needs to be within 60 days and it's dated in May, so we need a new one of those. Have a note on the plat with the drainage, an address and driveway access applied for at time of development. That's all I got.
All right, thank you. Questions for Danielle?
No.
No. Comments? I would say this, again, looks pretty straightforward. This is not a huge change, I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination. So we are looking at 4 contingencies here, I believe.
Do we have a update of the title, note for the drainage addresses,
And driveway
and
access.
driveway
permits.
access permits reached out, right?
Yes.
Can I ask a question? The driveway access and the addresses, why are they contingencies of the approval? Those are
They
part of,
would be contingent upon
they're
building.
part of regulation anyways when you come to get a building permit, so they shouldn't be tied to the plat.
I don't think they're contingencies, they would be conditions.
They're plat note.
Plat notes, yeah.
So we-
All of them, actually,
So
right?
we're putting those as plat
They're not
notes?
gonna be contingencies,
Yeah.
because you need your plat recorded.
Right.
So at the time of building permit, the plat will have a note that says they're required, correct?
Well, we don't normally do that because they're already part of regulation.
Okay.
And so when you come to get your building permit, you have to have a driveway access permit, you have to have an address and take care of all that. So as with platting process, we don't need to put it on there because, it'll.
Just the drain.
To
Just the
drainage.
drainage, right, so.
The others would have to be not a contingency, but a condition, but it is in the regulations.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
So what about,
Already a requirement.
It's already a requirement, yeah.
Right.
So the drainage is the only thing we need to deal with.
what about the updated title commitment? Should that be a condition as well?
Has that been submitted?
That would be a contingency.
A contingency?
Yeah, because it's over 60
They won't
days or whatever you
record
said.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
I'll have a motion if you're ready, Madam Chair.
I am prepared.
I would move to approve minor subdivision 22-003 for the Brady Builders subdivision that will create a total of 3 lots located in a low-density residential zone district on Grandview in Canyon City with one contingency of updating the title commitment and then also a note on the plat for the drainage to be done at time of construction. And then just as a note that the driveway permits and addresses will be issued at the time of a building permit is issued.
So it would be 2 contingencies.
No.
One contingency and one's a plat note.
Okay. Because you backed up, so, all right.
I think I second that.
It has been moved and seconded to approve this request for minor subdivision MS 22-003, Brady Builders subdivision to create a total of 3 lots located in the low-density residential zone district on Grandview Avenue here in Canyon City. There is one contingency having to do with putting the drainage and plan report note into the plat, as well as an updated title commitment. All right. That's it, all in. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Matt.
Matt.
Thanks, Danielle. Next item of new business, Fremont Adventure Recreation is requesting the issuance of a special events permit for malt, Venice, and
Matt,
spirituous
do you need this? I'm
liquor
sorry. Okay.
at 1363 County Road 3A, Canyon City, for an event on Saturday, October 15th, from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We have with us this morning Ashley Sack. Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning.
So you want to talk a little bit about what's happening and what you're asking us for this morning?
For all the people?
Yes, for the hundreds of people
Yeah,
who are.
yeah, but address us, would you? I know that.
Yes, so the Royal 50 is in its 4th year. Because of COVID, there was a year in between there that we weren't able to have it at this location, hence the need upcoming for a TUP also. Royal 50 is a 2-distance mountain bike race. We offer both 25 miles and 50 miles for crazies. I mean, people who are in really good shape. I really enjoy this race because it does appeal to a wide variety of individuals. So you have folks who are serious racers. We are USA Cycling sanctioned. So folks who accumulate points throughout the year can utilize this race as one of the races that gets them toward their point total. So you have some really incredible athletes, inspiring athletes who come and participate with us, some from Springs, Denver, further away. So it's really fun to see them and how fast and incredibly in shape they are. And then, and we also have some local racers who are just phenomenal. If you're a racer like myself, who just likes to be around people and enjoy the company of other folks who enjoy mountain biking, and maybe can't do something like a 50-mile, we have the 25, and you can also do any of these distances as a team. So for me, the camaraderie is incredible. So just having a team, enjoying one of our most beautiful locations, our Royal Gorge Park Trail system. Of course, as you know, is about 20 miles of trail. We utilize about a 12.5-mile loop. They do 2 loops on that if they're 25, 4 if they're doing the 50. We partner with Ty Cipher at the Royal Gorge Ranch and Resort to kind of have the base camp at the Royal Gorge Ranch and Resort. So of course that's a private property. Really helps us maintain the integrity of who comes in and out of the festival. We have full access to parking, to his facility up there at the Gunslingers Lodge, things like that. So we love this event. And of course, with any mountain biking event or any athletic event, there must be beer. So we are here today asking for a liquor permit. As you can tell, it's pretty much the same as last year. We're just extending the boundaries just a little bit, but it's still in the exact same location. We are just utilizing some of those kind of bushes and trees in the back as a natural barrier, using the buildings as a barrier, and just extending a little further along that concrete pad so that we can have some live music or just allow folks to enjoy mingling, have some food and things like that. But pretty much the same as prior years. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I'm curious to know how many folks show up for this every year.
That's a great question. So, you know, we start with usually about 100 people in any event, and it grows, and COVID really threw us for a loop, obviously. So we had about 200 last year, so we're hoping for between 200 and 300 this year. Some of the other events that come from out of town, like Zia, they have a race that starts and ends at the campground up there, and they get about 300, and they pull racers. They have a very dedicated following of folks who come from New Mexico and beyond, and when they do that, that's actually really great for us because then they see the trails, our races at the other end of the racing season. So we have high hopes that in our 4th year now, with some consistency in the last 2 years, that we'll see somewhere between 200 and 300 people, and that's really good for us. We're not interested in an event that garners any more than that. I mean, you look at events like the Boulder, which take over the entire community. That's not really our goal. Our goal is to provide something for our community that's also appealing to folks who may want to come from out of the area, put a little sales tax money and lodging tax money into our community, but not overrun the trail system, that 8-mile area, et cetera. So we'd be very happy with 300 people.
All right, perfect. And let's talk about serving for a minute. Who is going to do the serving, and how will they be trained?
Yep, so I recently took the city's, I recertified in the city's training for liquor permitting, so I'm well versed in all of the over-serving, serving, where to serve, et cetera, things. And then we also have dedicated volunteers who have been with us year after year after year, who are either tips trained or we show them the video. And they are also well versed in over-serving. Because this isn't a night event and it doesn't extend beyond kind of early evening, we don't really have the issues that you might have with something that goes late into the evening with bands and things like that. So yeah, so volunteers are trained, tips trained, or we show them the video, and they're volunteers who have been with us for many years.
And how do you ensure that no one under the age of 21 is drinking?
Yep, so within our boundaries, we always have just the 2 entry points, and actually, I revised that, it's just the 1 really. And at those locations, we have someone checking IDs, and then of course we have the signs up that say no alcohol past this point, and under the overage, if they're 21 or older, they get the wristband once they've had their IDs checked, and the underage gets the black mark of soda on their hand. That's all they get.
The black mark.
Yes.
Gentlemen, do you have any questions at this point?
I just have one comment. I thought it was kind of funny. You said that it doesn't go, it's just into the early evening, 9 o'clock. That's pretty late for me.
Yeah, well, true.
I'm thinking
True.
that's late night, man.
I always over ask for the time frame just in case it does go over, but I would say that in the afternoon, we don't really have music past like 5, 6 o'clock, and things start petering out. I like to ask till 9 o'clock just in case people are having fun and they want to stay. The sunset's beautiful up there. So if people want to stay and, you know, enjoy their beer and hang out in that area. But we start packing up pretty early. We're tired by that
Well,
time.
and
So.
I think I've been to this event a couple of times, and one, just if you guys haven't been there, this area, there's terrain that causes this to the line to the south. There's kind of a higher ridge there, and then there's a ridge actually that falls off to the west too. So the fence kind of, if you go outside that fence, you're going to kind of tumble down a little
You're
hill.
going to get hit by a fast mountain bike.
Yeah, or get hit by a mountain bike. So, and then I guess you'll have the exit in the south side like you have before. You can go out that building, so you might have to have somebody there watching as well. But
Sure. It's just a very low-key event, yeah. And of course, we follow all the rules, but still, it's just not the kind of crazy event where you would expect
It's
people
high-powered
passing.
athletes, and they have to have their beer afterwards. Isn't that cool?
Well, she did say there must be beer.
Beers and
so-
burritos. Yes.
And Ashley, I'm surprised she didn't say donuts. You're not gonna have donuts or shit.
If it were, but we do have emergency treats coming this year,
Okay, so you do have
I
donuts.
get my wish. Yes, there will be donuts.
All right, thanks, Ashley.
Would you have a napping area for people like Dwayne, and so he can make it
After
to 9
9
o'clock?
Yeah, that garage right there, I'll put a sign just for you. Do not disturb, sleeping it off. I'll put that on.
All right, anything else for Ashley? Okay, let's have a staff report from Recording Clerk Talia Smith. Good morning.
Good morning. Our department sees no issues with FAR's application, as we've been provided with all the necessary documentation and ample notice. Thank you. It was also reviewed by the county attorney, and the FCD, PHE, and Sheriff's Office do recommend approval per their reports.
All right, thank you. Questions for Talia?
Not one.
Anything further? We typically ask for input from members of the public who may happen to be present, but it looks like I can skip that
They're all for it.
today, so. All right, anything else before I ask for a motion?
Nope.
All right, gentlemen, your wishes?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the application from Fremont Adventure Recreation for a special events permit for malt, venison, and spirituous liquor at 1363 County Road 3A in Canyon on Saturday, October 15th, 2022, from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Second.
All right, it has been moved and seconded to approve this issuance of a special events permit as previously described. I don't think I need to repeat all of that information. All right, further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Ashley.
Good luck.
We wish you the best. Our next item of new business is a resolution delegating the mill levy certification authority to the county manager. And for this, we turn to our county attorney, Brenda Jackson, for a word of explanation.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners every year by December 22nd is required to kind of do a master certification of mill levies for all entities that impose a property tax. And the timeframes get really squeezed in that period of time because the final certification for assessment isn't done until December 10th. Sometimes it's early, but it doesn't need to be done until the 10th, which leaves 12 days, calendar days, to review them all, make sure they're all correct, and then get them certified. So the legislature added to that statute a provision that allows the board to authorize someone else to do that final certification, which is basically an administrative act. The assessor and finance, well, in the past, it's been Sunny, through her office, have reconciled those mill levy certifications, and then the board always has to have a rushed special meeting to sign a document. So to make the process more streamlined and to allow finance and the county manager's office to get these done and sent to the state, the legislature changed the statute, said you can have a designated representative or authorized representative do the certification. So this authorizes the county manager to do that master certification for all property taxing entities.
All right, thank you so much for that. Gentlemen, questions, comments?
None.
I'll simply say we really love to be able to streamline government in any way, shape, or form, so thank you for this. All right, I am ready for a motion.
Madam Chair, I'm prepared for a motion. I move to approve resolution number 25, which is a delegation to the Fremont County Manager, the statutory duty of mill levy certification.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 25, delegating the mill levy certification authority to the Fremont County Manager. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we turn to Commissioner Grantham for some information on the appointment of a new member to the Fremont County Tourism Council for a term that will end on December 31st of 2023. And we're looking to him because he is this board's official liaison to that council.
Yes, Madam Chair. So We have, at least in our packet, and we've been able to have an interview with this individual, by the name of Elizabeth Oberly, who I think is very qualified to be able to sit on this tourism council. Of course, our tourism council is tasked with the responsibility of spending that lodging tax that we get and that we see the reports on every month, and spending that wisely as far as marketing for tourism here in Fremont County. Ms. Oberly has some good qualifications that I think will fill a void in our tourism council when it comes to the aspects of agritourism, which we're seeing much growth in rural Colorado, and we would like to take advantage of that to the greatest extent possible, and I think she brings some good experience with that, and that's about all I have.
All right.
I just have a comment before we have a motion on this. It looks like she's being appointed to fill a term that was existing, so it's a short term. Typically, they're 3 years, I believe.
3 years, correct.
And this is just to finish a term, and then she can be appointed again if so interested.
Correct. And we do actually have another vacancy on the Tourism Council that we would be interested in getting some applications for. Usually we prefer folks that are in the industry that know tourism or are somehow associated with it, whether in the periphery or directly. But certainly the interest in it and the knowledge base in it. But I know we have a lot of those folks in the community because we are a tourist community, but tourism community. But we would welcome those applications for folks that are interested in helping out on this and every other board.
All right, would you like to make a motion for this
I can
appointment?
certainly do that. Madam Chair, I would move that we appoint Elizabeth Oberly to the Fremont County Tourism Council with term ending December 31, 2023.
Second.
By way of discussion, I simply would like to say I have worked with Elizabeth through FEDC, the Fremont Economic Development Corporation, and she does bring a different voice. I think she brings some diversity to our Tourism Council, so I'm really excited to be able to appoint her. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The final item on our agenda today is the change of a date for a regular Fremont County Board of Commissioners meeting. Tuesday, December 19th at 9:30 a.m. We should be meeting, however, we all will be in Denver with a Colorado Counties Incorporated Winter Conference. So with that conflict, we have looked at the calendar, decided the best thing to do is to move that meeting to Monday, December 19th at 9:30 a.m.
Madam Chair, you ready for your motion?
Indeed, I am.
I move to approve changing the regular Board of County Commissioners meeting from Tuesday, December 13th to Monday, December 19th at 9:30 a.m.
Is that in 2022?
2022.
I will second that.
It has been moved and seconded to change the date of our regular Board of County Commissioners meeting from Tuesday, December 13th to Monday, December 19th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. Further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner McFall.
Aye.
Commissioner Grantham.
Aye.
Commissioner Bell.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, and with there being no further business to come before this board, we are adjourned.